we have to catch an airplane and fly across the United States to a conference. But God has brought the conference speaker to Allen Temple and to Radio Land. And we say amen. The latest book, which will be a bestseller, is called The Bible and African Christianity, written by Dr. Keith Augustus Burton. And in this study, Dr. Burton traces the biblical Africa and the place of the Bible in the land of Ham, beginning there in the Old Testament. He explores the geography of biblical Africa and chronicles the African presence in the church from the New Testament only, paying particular attention to the growth of Islam in Africa, as well as the impact of European colonialism and the slave trade. Coming to the modern era, he examines the achievement of African Christianity and visionary efforts to adapt and reclaim Christianity for the African context. I've said a mouthful. The thing that makes Barack Obama attractive to me is that he doesn't meet the dominant community stereotype of an African American male. And I would like to say that there's nobody on the platform who has a freer and better command of the King's English than he has. By the same token, no scholar has a better command of research techniques and writing skills and homiletical artistry than Keith Augustus Burton. And he's only 44 years old. And I think we ought to give him a big hand. This book has a lot of meat in it, and if you don't like to read, and don't like to think, and don't like to study, I would advise you to start out by getting your teeth cut on the faith factor, the key to black empowerment. And in this book, he challenges us to stop buying for what we want, buying what we want, and begging for what we need. And we sold out of copies of The Blessing of Africa. We're taking orders, and I'm going to be using it in the classes that I teach at the seminary. But there is a book that you can start out on if you don't like to do heavy reading. And could we stand? And when I read a line from it, I want you to say, amen. By faith, Nat Turner responded to the voice that compelled him to lead a rebellion against those who could destroy his body, but not his soul. Amen. By faith, Harriet Tubman repeatedly ventured into danger, confident that the God who had secured her freedom could do so for countless others shackled in the bonds of slavery. Amen. By faith, Booker T. Washington founded Tuskegee Institute, knowing that since there was no room in their inn, we had to build our own. Amen. By faith, Marcus Mosiah Garvey founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association with the hope that Africans everywhere would unite and prove to the world who we really are. By faith, Rosa Parks refused to go to the back of the bus as she demonstrated that no race has the right to lord itself over another. By faith, Martin Luther King agitated the American conscience. Oh, I got to stop here. You know, someone wants to give President Johnson credit, but it was pressure from Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement. Truth ought to be told, Lyndon Johnson never did anything out of the goodness of his heart. They don't teach this in school, but I'm going to teach it from the pulpit. By faith, Martin Luther King agitated the American conscience as he rallied the masses together to prove the true power of love over violence. By faith, Malcolm X complimented the civil rights struggle as he stressed the necessity for black people to defend their rights and improve their condition by any means necessary. All these soldiers struggled in faith, not having received the promise, but knowing in their heart of hearts that someday we will all be free. As we prepare to receive the author of these words, I want to thank his former student for bringing him to me, soon to be Dr. Dexter Thomas. Send thy word, Lord.
Send your word, dear Lord. Send your word. Send your word, dear Lord. Send your word. Use your servant this hour.